Welcome back to the Producer Plants. We are here again talking The Real Housewives of Rhode Island, and we are here to take you on the journey that is episode 4. And don't worry, if you're from Rhode Island, we know you cannot drive. That's why Garrett and I are in the passenger seats. I am Taj. I am joined by Garrett.
Hi.
How are we doing?
Got a pizza chip for me.
A pizza
Pizza
chip?
chips are like just red sauce. It's not actual cheese. It's not like a regular pizza, but it's light.
What do we think about this pizza chip? It's just bread with marinara. I don't like that.
Girl, I don't fucking know what they're doing in Rhode Island. It like kind of looks good. Like I just think it's being missold, mismarketed because it's not pizza, it's not a chip. It's more like a breadstick but in like circle form.
It's more just like they forgot to make a pizza. You did the first 2 steps of a pizza and you forgot to do the rest of it. This show makes me believe, if I've never looked at a United States map before, I would think that Rhode Island is an actual island, like Hawaii, where it's completely away from the States, the way that everyone acts there. It is disconnected from the reality.
Completely disconnected from everything else.
But hey, makes great moments.
And this episode is once again carrying on the theme of every single person involved in an affair in some way. There's multiple affairs announced in this episode. We find out history connecting 2 of our castmates. Like, Rhode Island is such a crazy, interwoven mess of relationships.
I gotta say, these producers, they did what they need to. Going to Rhode Island, I was like, Rhode Island Housewives? Boring. But the fact that everyone knows each other is amazing. And this is the tagline of the show.
Welcome to Rhode Island, bitch.
Yeah, for real.
Come on.
I mean, I want to know how they found these people. Like, what caused them to start this franchise? Because obviously, once you see it, you get it. But I don't think that they were like, we should go to Rhode Island and find these women. Like, they must have found out about them from someone through some other Bravo person. Like, I wonder who is connected to the greater Bravo universe. I guess Liz through Dolores is kind
I
of
was
what
going
we're
to
led
say
believe.
Dolores, right? Dolores
But
is
do
the
you really
one
think
that...
like Dolores started probably like a New Jersey producer, if I had to guess.
Yeah, maybe met Liz and Alicia, and they're like, all right, I love them. Expand it. Who else we got?
It only takes one, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and then
they
the
just
rest
need to
follow.
find the one. I think that's like famously, it's been debated like between Lisa Barlow and Mary Cosby, who was the one to start Salt Lake City. But it's always like they cast around one person, and they find the show. And
you have so many great people. I still got to give it to the queen of the show, which is Joellen. Joellen, her power. She is absent this episode. She's going on her work trip, but we still talk about her. She is feared. She's Voldemort.
She is all powerful. And
yeah.
I'm worried for her sister and her husband if they decide to go down the path that we're led to believe they want to go down in this episode.
Give Joellen her center clam. I don't like how that sounds. I don't like how center clam sounds.
Center Pearl.
Yeah. No, let's go with Pearl. Should we jump into this episode?
Yeah.
This is a great one.
We get our class, like Housewives loves their like opening scenes. And I feel like as we're dissecting these episodes more, I notice it more because I'm trying to take notes, right? And they usually are very clear about like, this is a scene. And there's always these like little pastiches setting up the episode, and it's like things that we're supposed to like keep our eye on for like what's gonna happen. So like our 3 storylines are Alicia getting pizza chips for the beach. Love that that's a recurring storyline. It comes up 3 times in this episode. Here, when she brings them with the girls, and later on when she's with her aunts again.
Here, I need to say this about the pizza chips, because this just came to my cranium. Alicia, you need to go into the branding here. We need to make a pizza cracker.
I love a cracker.
Oh,
She
you're
loves a
so
cracker.
right.
We
You're
need
so
a pizza
right.
cracker.
I've never even pizza crackers.
Make it really thin so then it's all crispy. Do a little marinara action, and you can keep that no cheese thing. But that's what you should do.
And then we cut to Rula's house, and she's watching her kids at the pool, and her kids are like joking about how much money their dad owes them. I feel like the joke goes unsaid. I don't even need to say the joke.
Yeah. We'll move
He's
on.
gonna owe them more than money, is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, do we want to open the...
Years of therapy, probably.
I think we need to, like, open the floodgates a little bit to what's happening now, currently, with the cast.
Oh, I have like been avoiding it. Like, there's so much going on with Rula and Brian legally. They've like taken out restraining orders on each other. I heard that he's suing the mistress because he had her sign an NDA.
Joellen allegedly followed the mistress on Instagram. I mean, come on. That is Center Pearl. That is Center Pearl, like, movement. Come on now.
It's so funny. And then Joellen is talking to Gary about her work trip and that her sister's coming to help with the kids. So they love these like little they love to set up these little scenes, and I think it's interesting which ones they pick.
Yeah, we got this last episode where they had like Ashley and Rosie at the house, and then the Liz biking thing.
Yeah,
I guess it's okay.
Our first scene is Dolores visiting Liz's house, and this is like the post birthday party debrief. Liz tells Dolores that Jerry accidentally ordered 6 dozen bananas. So there's literally like so many fucking bananas all over this kitchen. He is the math joke that people always make. He's the guy ordering all the bananas at the store. Funny.
Do you think they like Instacarted this? Do you think Jerry? Yeah, Jerry did not go to the store. It was some poor person working Instacart that had to just grab banana after banana and was like, no way. Did they actually order this? And everyone's looking at them weirdly in the grocery store. Like, this dude is taking all the bananas for some Instacart order.
Yeah, I think he typed 6, but it was like bunches instead of single bananas. Like, he wanted 6 bananas and they gave him 6 bunches of bananas. So maybe it's more like 6 half dozens of bananas. It's like 3 dozen bananas, but it's a lot of bananas.
I feel like you can go through 6 dozen bananas. Like 2 a day, 1 with breakfast, maybe 1 before bed.
I think they just go brown too fast. Like, bananas don't last that long. They famously produce so much ethylene gas. Yeah, you can make some good banana bread.
Yeah. Okay. Pizza chips and banana bread. That could be pretty good.
I mean, given Liz and Jerry's business ventures, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like baking goodies all the time.
Well, so Liz is like, we have to sage the house. And in my mind, this was just her wanting to smoke a joint with Dolores. And she's like, wait, I can't.
Around.
She's like, I can't do this on Bravo, so I have to go with sage.
That's so funny.
Yeah, very used to just lighting up a bunch of plants in a different form. But that was great. Yeah, so we get like a debrief of what happened from the cliffhanger of last
definitely
episode.
Sage this chair right here where Joellen was sitting.
Yeah.
And they talk about the Rula and Joellen fight, and Liz brings up a really good point where she says, if it's over, I don't know why she's white knuckling. As in, if this is no longer a problem, why do you appear so stressed and like you're trying so desperately to control the narrative here?
Yeah, we hear kind of Kelsey's side later on why she was so weird about Dino. We learned that her and Dino hooked up 10 years ago when she had another boyfriend. She speaks so vaguely with this relationship where I don't know. I don't know what's really going on here. Because if she had a boyfriend, did she say that they were open at the time and then she hooked up with Dino, or was this the exclusive one? Because I totally missed that. If not, because if it was the open relationship, then it should be okay.
Unclear.
Unclear, yeah. Unless it was just remorse that it was good friend Dino, who's famously always at the seawall.
Well, I think not to be like underreported. I'm gonna say allegedly,
Allegedly.
but like allegedly he's part of some sort of mob or mafia.
All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it
I'm just
at
saying,
that.
like if Kelsey dated him, so she knows
something here.
She's been in that world maybe.
Yeah. But Liz, she owns up. She owns up to her mistakes. She knows she was drunk at the Studio 54 party, which I just learned what Studio 54 was in the last podcast. Okay, I have to say, we are interjecting a lot here. But last episode, you explained to me what Studio 54 was, which I did not know. Since that moment, a week ago,
You get Bader Meinhof.
I don't know what that means, but
Explain it, and I bet you got Bader Meinhof.
I probably got Bader Meinhof. Where now I just keep hearing about Studio 54. I heard it like 3 times. I was watching The Boys season 5, which just shows my range as a viewer, going from Housewives to The Boys, and they mention Studio 54, and I'm like, I've heard that. So was I Bader Meinhofted? Is that what that
You
is?
were.
Okay.
Yeah. The Bader Meinhof effect is this psychological phenomenon, which is when you suddenly learn about something, you will start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
It shows that I was correct. Studio 54, very famous place.
Very famous. Yeah.
And yeah, you got Bader Meinhof. But it's a very funny feeling. I love that feeling. And I love telling people about Bader Meinhof.
Yeah. Is it a guy?
Fun name. I think it's two researchers. I don't know if they're men or women. I think it's Bader and Meinhof, and they research together. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's like a famous study. I learned about it in college. Anyways, they then pivot to talk about Liz and her fight with Kelsey, which is of course how we ended the party. Liz is trying to do that thing where you act as if you know what you did was wrong, but without really owning it, so that you can hope to like move on and not have to really deal with it. She basically just chalks it up. She says, I came across as a bitter, drunk witch. And Dolores is like, it was a menopause. Which is wild to say. But I feel like Liz is trying to be like, oh, I was drunk and it was terrible, but like it's whatever. Like, but I don't know if Kelsey feels that way.
Yeah, Dolores, she's good for the show, right? Because she coaches the new housewives what to do, right? And so she's like, you gotta apologize. Like this is how you have to do it on this show.
Dolores is, I'm realizing now who Dolores is. Dolores is Ursula, and she is getting the younger housewives to sing for her, and she's like, sing, 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 and like capturing their youth and their energy so that she can stay young forever. And that's why she's moved franchises, because New Jersey was dying. She is like a banshee, not a banshee, what's it called? It starts with an S. The succubus.
The siren.
Succubus.
Oh. Yeah.
She's a succubus, like feeding off the energy of these housewives, and she's like, yes, fight for me. Because that's why anytime they fight, they cut to Dolores just grinning from ear to ear, like, yes, ladies, that's how you do it. Which obviously is like, I'm joking, but it's so funny.
Yeah, it's great. And Liz is like, I'll apologize if Kelsey does, which is valid.
Yeah, Liz, every time she talks, also, especially in this scene, but kind of throughout, she speaks so slowly. Have you noticed that?
I think both of them speak slowly.
Yeah, but Liz really speaks, deliberately feels like the wrong word. But she says, I feel like she co-signed a lie to avoid her own issues coming out. Like, it takes her a year to get through the sentence sometimes.
Well, we know what she does in her spare time, in her spare business. So potentially the reason why. But yeah, that kind of sets us up for later, and we can hop on over to the next scene, which is like a group scene right away.
Yeah, I love how many group scenes we get. This is a little mini group scene, which is always perfect to like split up the group, get them to spill about each other, which is exactly what happens here. I mean, without this scene, we don't get the scene at the end of the episode. Ashley is hosting like a beach day, and off the bat, you can tell this is not like other housewife shows because the women are trekking to the beach carrying like folding Tommy Bahama chairs and like Trader Joe's totes with pizza crackers, or no, I'm calling it pizza crackers. What's it called? Pizza
chips.
And other things in tow, like suburban moms do go to the beach, which I am from a family that lugged the Tommy Bahama chairs and the cooler and the bag to the beach, and I love that moment. But this is supposed to be like the rich women, right? Like, I just feel like it felt very middle class for them.
Well, Alicia is even like,
Yeah.
I go to the country club and they carry all my stuff for me. And then we're going to some beach where there's a rock in the middle of the ocean, spray painted, do not climb. Like, we're just going to a public beach here, which, you know, is so funny. And I feel like that's just, we're going to have so many beach day scenes being in a Rhode Island based show. Like, what do we do? What scene should we have? Okay, let's just go to the beach.
Yeah, and it's better than the Salt Lake City equivalent, which is just a parking lot with snow in it.
Yeah. Or some restaurant
Yeah.
where they have to order a Diet Coke and a martini.
This is when Alicia tells us about pizza chips. Play the clip, Taj.
Play the clip. Which one do you want? You want this one?
Like just red sauce. It's not actual cheese. It's not like a regular pizza, but it's lighter. People like bring it to the beach.
Yeah, pizza chips are like just red sauce. It's not.
A little bit of
now
everything.
Now it sounds like she's like extremely slow.
Yeah, she had some of Liz's supply.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how the ladies too are like, I'm not sold on the pizza chip.
I need to say this about pizza chips. I don't care if it's good or bad. It is not a beach food. I could not care less about whether or not you like pizza chips. Like, to me, irrelevant to the situation. There is nothing less beach ready than a piece, like an open-faced sandwich with wet sauce on top.
Yeah, that
One
plastic,
gust of wind
yeah.
and there's sand all over your pizza chips. Ruined.
In that plastic bag too, just getting smothered with the sauce so it all pulls off.
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
I don't like that. Yeah, so we get Rosie and she kind of sets up what's going to happen later in the episode. She's like, we're doing some railroad bike thing. I forgot it was called, like Rail Explorers.
Yeah, Rail Explorers.
Rail Explorers.
Which is, what kind of rails are we exploring? Rhode Island? Please tell me.
It kind of looked fun. I would do
For a state that's connected to the mob, allegedly, I wouldn't be calling my business Rail Explorers.
Yeah, so then we get that. That's the setup for later. And Ashley goes, why is Rula mad at Joellen? Girl, did we not watch the episode? Were we not physically there when the episode was being filmed?
Yeah, and like, I don't know. Ashley is definitely angling to be the Bethany, the Greek chorus character on the show, the Heather Gay in a way. In that role often irritates me, so Ashley, watch out.
I still like Ashley, and I still
I know you
liked
do.
it.
That's where we differ. Is our opinions on Ashley, and Maybe Rosie too.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to talk about this because I like Rosie a lot. Rosie is in my top 3. Because we see later, she's just mess. She's a reporter. She goes in for the kill.
Yeah, I think Rosie and Ashley feel like Chat GPT housewives, where they don't really have like any sort of defining characteristic. Like, yes, Rosie is a news reporter, and yes, Ashley was on The Bachelor, but they don't feel Rhode Island-y. I know that they're not really from Rhode Island. Like, Ashley just moved there recently. Rosie is clearly not from there. She doesn't have the accent or anything. So
She's like from there, but she's not.
They just kind of feel plain to me. Like they're lacking a certain charisma that the other ladies have in spades.
The other ladies have
Except
it's
for
like
Rula, who I like because she's so icy cold and detached.
Yeah, but still with Rosie, she knows what show she is on, and so she is always going for the drama, the mess, which I respect, and that's why I like her on the show.
I think it's because I've watched a lot of Housewives.
Yeah.
And I saw through what Rosie did, and I'm sure you read my notes and saw how I documented Rosie's fucking mess throughout this episode because she's so transparent to me. Like, if I'm watching the show back as her castmate, I'd be like, oh, so you set this whole thing up? Like, this fight that happens at the end of the episode is all a setup from Rosie. And I feel like I see through her, and I want her to, like, do better.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get some real good info. This is another peek.
Crazy.
This another peek about the show is that, as we know, it's Rhode Island. Everyone knows each other. So what we learn is that Alicia tells us that Rula met Brian when Brian was married to Alicia's Spanish teacher. So then he potentially cheated on, Brian did, the Spanish teacher with Rula?
Yeah, and Ashley's like, so he's just a cheater?
Yeah.
And Alicia says, but he doesn't look like a cheetah, let's be honest. Which is so funny. Alicia is so funny. I'm sorry. I know, like, Alicia famously online in the gay Twitter has been outed as like voting for Trump very early on, so I cannot support her for that reason. But this woman is so fucking funny. She's so funny.
Do you think when she saw and heard about it, she was like, Dios mío?
I don't think Alicia remembers a lick of Spanish.
I do want to see her Spanish come up again. I would love for Alicia with her Rhode Island accent.
Can we get the Spanish teacher on the show?
Can we? Yeah.
Because also the age, like, there's a lot of like weird, and it's because they all have filler and Botox, and the ages of these people, I need to like look at them because, hear me out. Alicia had a Spanish teacher who was married to Brian. So Alicia is like a teenager at this point, and the Spanish teacher has to at least be like mid-20s to be a Spanish teacher, I would assume. At least. And she's married to Brian. So she's significantly older probably than Alicia, probably by like at least 10 years if I had to guess. But he cheats with Rula. So how old was Rula? I thought Rula and Alicia were closer in age. But then we also find out later that Liz is friends with Alicia's aunt?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that, like, does Alicia exist in time?
Maybe she drove into a vortex. Hitting that lady was like a time vortex, and so now she's just in some parallel alternate reality.
Yeah, there's like this is really nerdy, but I'm gonna go there. There's this like Doctor Who season 5 of the reboot where there's like this crack that keeps like showing up in the episodes, and everyone's like, what's this crack? and you find out it's like literally a crack in like the space-time continuum or something, and it's present in like every moment of time. So like no matter when you go, you can always see this crack. That's Alicia.
Yeah, I
She's
did.
ever present, eating a pizza chip, her fig Newton, and driving over a lady.
The lady was the turning point, the Nexus event. I do need a timeline. I need like 1960
Yeah.
to 2026, and I need the line of narrative and then the dots connecting what happened here and there.
Please include on the timeline when Superior Bakery was founded, because it feels very relevant to the plot of this show for some reason.
Yes. Is there anything else on this moment here? Oh, well, besides Alicia talking about Liz.
I love when Alicia's like, I hope that's not true. I really did like my Spanish teacher.
I hope she learned something. What Spanish was it? Imagine it was like very high level Spanish. She's doing conjugations and preterite.
Preterite tense?
Preterite tense,
There's
yeah.
no fucking way Alicia learned more than present tense.
I don't even remember my Spanish that I took many a years of. Yeah, so Alicia talks about Liz, and she's like, even I get scared of Liz, and I don't get scared of anyone at all.
Well, okay, back up a little bit. They switch to the Liz drama. They bring it up to Kelsey.
Yeah.
And Kelsey, in this moment, kind of incriminates herself because she just fully admits to what Liz accuses her of, basically. Of being like, you're implying there's something ongoing and that I shouldn't be doing that with him. And that, like, really upset me. And I think we all kind of were like, she didn't really say anything. Like, you kind of took it to, like, a place that it didn't need to go. And then Kelsey's like, yeah, so I was kind of implying that she shouldn't go anywhere because there's an ongoing situation. And I was like, oh, Kelsey, you just, like, did not get the memo at all that you could have, like, you could have sat on that. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, because then she has to open up and tell everyone what happened with her and Dino.
Yes, and then this is why they're talking about, like, Liz getting all upset, and Rosie's talking about it, and Alicia says, like you said, I even get scared of her. I don't get scared of anyone at all. And at this moment, you can see in Rosie's head, she's like, thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah,
And
the
she's,
reporter in her.
and I think this is why, like, I don't know. I'm both like, Rosie's amazing, and she's like, not, she's like, I feel like she blew her wad. Like, she could have kept that nugget of evidence against Alicia and whipped it out later when it
Yeah.
was more relevant, or like she was beefing with Alicia or something, or Alicia was beefing with. That information could have been utilized to Rosie's advantage better. Instead, Rosie just basically used it as a way to insert herself into a fight. So I can't really blame her too much for that.
Yeah, I mean, she later in the episode, Rosie puts herself in a situation where she has to bring it up, which she didn't need to at all, and that
She,
was
like,
her pulling Ashley aside, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" And it's like, "Well, that you're scary and intimidating." So she did do it to herself.
But yeah, this is like when Rosie gets her whole idea of like, oh, thanks, Alicia. I'm so glad that you said that about your best friend Liz. I will remember that and tell her exactly what you said.
We have certain like rules with Housewives. There's certain it's like a book. It's a book that we created. It's the rules of Housewives, and we have a rule which is anything you say can and will be used against you, and that's what Rosie tried to do, even though it flopped a lot, but still.
Yeah, I think, and we can talk about it more when we get there, but I think there's a couple of reasons why it didn't fully work out for Rosie.
Yeah.
But let's move on. This is crazy. Is Joellen's husband having sex with her sister? That's what I need to know. What do you think, Taj?
Okay. We know that she likes his underwear.
Oh, Gary found a pair of your underwear.
How they smell?
Asking how they smell is also crazy. Those are dirty underwear, and I
Well-
feel like Gary goes hard in the gym.
And the part that I didn't clip is he goes, "How'd they smell?" And then she says, "They tasted great."
Jeez.
Jen,
We thought, or we said that Gary and Joellen match each other's freak, but the sister is super freak. But we knew this. They dated in high school.
which is crazy. And then Joellen tells us like they've never had sex according to her, but he has felt her boobies. So I'm glad that we have a very detailed sexual history between all three of these people, but we literally cannot understand the timeline of Kelsey's relationships for shit.
Yeah. No, but
Another point for the Tiberius on the board.
Yeah, exactly. But we knew this though. We knew that they dated in the past, and then Joellen stole him. I believe that was what she told us in episode 1. But yeah, this sister is so funny. They're like in the kitchen making stuff, and she's like, "Oh, we're like an old married couple." It's like you and me, Gary. We're like an old married couple, which is crazy to say.
I mean, she's basically like the sister-in-law in a porn where she's like, "Oh, Gary, I'm just stirring here at the stove, and the way I'm stirring this wooden spoon is making my ass shake." Like it's almost that crazy.
Well,
like,
we know
she's on the floor doing the laundry. I need that to be pointed out. She's like on her knees doing the laundry and allegedly sniffing Gary's underwear.
Well,
Nothing is normal about
she's
that. Yeah,
she's tasting it. Yeah. Well, we know she wants
these oysters. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Can't wait to get these oysters.
We know she wants Gary's sperm too. She doesn't have kids, and she's like, "I'll take Gary's sperm."
Yeah, that's genuinely disgusting. I mean, we are very close to a whole like Tiberi army of mini Garys.
Tiberi is a very to me that sounds like an army name, like the Great Tiberius of Rhode Island and how they conquered the sea.
I mean, we talked about this, but I think like the Tiberius is an emperor of Rome.
Okay, yeah.
And, like the Tiber River is named after him, so I think they are allegedly descendants of.
Oh my! And Gary's offspring is like the river.
I'm just making up fan fiction now.
Yeah.
I have no evidence to say that the name Tiberi is derivative of the Roman Emperor Tiberius, other than they are Italian Americans. That's my only evidence.
I would like the sister to come back for more scenes though, and then just flirt with Gary the entire time. I do need that as a running gag, like twice a season, I think.
Well,
so
I hope they give her more of a heads up, because it seemed like she only got the call sheet that morning for the scene, because this woman comes to film with hair extensions that are like clipped in but not brushed through, so she has that situation. I don't know if you caught this, Taj.
I did not catch this.
If you have X length of hair, right?
Yeah.
And you add extensions to make it look like Y length, if you don't brush it correctly or like set it up correctly, it will just look like you have like two chunks of hair. So you could see very clearly her like bob that was like hanging off the side, and then like the long extensions that were like 8 to 10 inches longer than her hair in the back. And I was like, babe, like just like someone help Jen, please. Like she's so like, I feel bad for this woman. She's trying to have sex with her sister's husband on national television, and by all evidence that I see, she threw in hair extensions last minute to get over there.
So I
that
do
she
like
could like role play Cinderella on the floor and like wash. Wash his underwear.
I do like when they're in the swing in the backyard and they're pushing the kids. There's like the baby, the youngest one, and at the end of the scene, the baby looks like it's passed out in that swing chair. Like the baby, the baby's like over the chair.
I didn't even notice that.
Its head was down, and I was like, can we check on the? Can we put the FaceTime down and check on the baby?
That's the second time though, because remember when Joellen and Ashley went to the park? There was that shot of the baby just like hanging out of the swing.
Yeah, maybe that's the baby falls asleep, but that was a great, very, very funny moment. Gary is earning his honorary pearl, his house husband pearl.
Gary is Twitter's favorite. The gays are obsessed over Gary, especially after this episode. Specifically, I have seen that screenshot of him in the sauna with, by the way, we didn't say this, but when we see the scene of Jen asking for Gary's sperm, already strange, they're all like in a sauna, like basically naked.
Yeah, they're like half naked, and she's staring at his open,
big hairy
unshirt.
chest.
Yeah, big hairy chest. They're being like, ooh, I need that sperm for my offspring. Which also is bad timing. That's terrible timing. Why would you do that there? That's like a sit down dinner. We have some wine, and you pop
also,
the question.
I'm
you have
not
public
a
space.
Fertility expert, but I do think there's something like slightly ironic about asking for a man's sperm in a sauna, because I'm pretty sure that can kill your sperm and cause you to be infertile temporarily because you're like heating them up too much.
Yeah. Okay. They're all melted.
That's why, like, if guys are like having issues having babies, sometimes the doctor will be like, "Don't put your laptop on your lap." Maybe I'm spreading false info, but I'm pretty sure it's true.
The laptop thing I agree with. That thing gets hot, and who knows
if you're in
what
a
it's
sauna, it's like 102 degrees in there.
And who knows what sort of stuff is coming off that laptop to infiltrate the sperm. All right, I think we can move on. Like waves.
That's
like
how you
waves.
get a sexually transmitted virus.
That's not what I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking about. Well, we do know you could get a virus on your laptop, and you got to have a Trojan.
Yeah.
Trojan virus. But okay,
I got a computer virus, guys. Oh no, you're gonna have to get a new PC. No, I just went and got some antibiotics. What do you mean? I fucked my computer.
Was it USB-C or and the C is for circumcised?
Unsafe talking.
Okay, let's go next scene here. We got enough fun with this one.
Okay, Alicia is having her aunts over, and I literally cheered for joy. They are my favorite characters on this show. They're so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's if we're staying with the Greek thing here, they're like the chorus? The Greek chorus, yeah, of the three women, and they all have
you mean the in like Hercules?
Yes, yeah.
No, that's not the Greek chorus. That's
Where are they?
The Fates, right?
Yeah. They are the Fates, and the Fate is in Rhode Island.
It doesn't matter. I can't remember. No, it's not the Fates. The Fates are the three with the cut the string.
Yeah.
But the Muses. The
Muses. Okay, well, they sing their songs about how in Rhode Island your husband will cheat on you, apparently. That's the fate or the music that they're all singing later on. But no, I love this moment. Ashley calls it like a Italian big fat Greek wedding, which it completely was, all eating their pizza chips. And
have you seen that movie?
Which one? My big fat Greek wedding?
Yeah.
No, I have not seen that one.
It's one of those movies where it's like everyone remembers one thing from it and forgets kind of how weird the rest of the movie is.
Do you think Angie K heard that and was like, Greek? What do you know about Greek?
I actually think it's kind of shocking. If we're going to go down this tangent, I do think it's shocking that as far as I can remember, there hasn't been that many Angie K Windex references on Salt Lake City, because that's like the one thing everyone remembers from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Is there's this like joke that they use Windex for everything. Like you get a pimple, put Windex on it. Like you have rats, spray the Windex. Like you Your car's fogging up, Windex. Like anything.
I assume she's seen that movie. I feel like Angie K probably showed Electra that movie when she was very young and was like,
This is your family.
Yeah, so Rula comes over, which was kind of a surprise that she was a part of this, but I'm glad that she is included on the scenes. I felt like she easily could be ostracized and shut out of the housewife meetings that aren't like the big events like the Railroad Express or whatever it was. So it was good to have her here, but also it's more of her storyline, which is they're at the table, they're talking about being married, and then one of the aunts is like, Rula, are you happily married? And at that point I was like, okay, you got tipped off. The producers beforehand were like, hey, by the way, here's your scene. You need to bring this up.
That was Alicia's mom, actually.
Oh, yes. Alicia's mom.
Who I'm obsessed with. She's so funny. And she does say, are you happily married? Which I thought was so funny. So shady.
Yeah. Which is when it opens up.
I want to point out, this is Ashley's like first ever group scene without Rosie.
Yeah, she mentions this and how she's like disconnected without Rosie, which just shows, I mean, as we talked about, right? Like Ashley is here because of Rosie. I forget why Rosie is here, a part of this conglomerate of women. But yeah, they're number ones, as we see later. If we're like breaking this down on a true strategy level, they have their alliance, which is Ashley and Rosie.
Yeah, Rula once again tries to conjure some tears. I don't know why. Like, I just don't think she needs to. Like, I believe her when she's talking, and then she'll just suddenly be like, I don't want to cry. And it's like, I don't feel like you are about to, but maybe I don't know you well enough. But based on, like, the fact that your tone of your voice didn't change a single bit, not a single facial muscle moved, not a quiver of the lip at all, you just hold your hand up to your face. I don't really believe it, but, you know, teach her own.
Yeah. And then all the aunts are like, oh, yeah, my husband cheated on me. He wanted.
Yeah. He what? He wanted what?
What did he want? No, he wanted. He wanted. When Alicia doesn't understand that accent, that's crazy to me. Because she says like the thickest.
I was like, oh, I did that the last time I played Marvel Rivals. I wanted.
You wanted?
Stupid joke. I'm so sorry. I regretted it as soon as I said it.
That's all right. It's all right. We gotta do what we can here. Yeah, and then they're all like, no, you should be aware of this because you're gonna live your whole life looking over your shoulder for Brian.
Which is true.
Which, as we talked about, we know what happens later in the future. This is it's not even a soft launch. This is our divorce hard launch. I feel like this is what her narrative is being set up for us, is that she is going to be divorcing Brian. Or some sort of split.
Probably. It seems like she's soft launching it or whatever, but I don't know if she wants to. Like,
yeah, I feel like once you throw it all out there for Bravo and you're on Watch What Happens Live, I feel like it's pretty clear. And everyone's saying this has got to go, you guys got to get split up. I feel like it's hard to ignore that when you have this whole outside influence, which is hundreds of thousands of people who watch the show.
I think the best comparison for Rula is she is like someone who walked up to a cliff to go cliff jumping, like a normal like 30-foot cliff or bridge or whatever, and there's lots of people that she's with jumping off, and they're all like, Rula, 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 and she's like, okay, I have to do it. Like, this is a big deal. I'm here. Like, when am I gonna get this opportunity? Like, I have to take the opportunities I'm given. I'm in this beautiful place right now. I might as well jump off the cliff. So she like walked her ass up there. She got up to the TV show. And now it's like, okay, are you gonna expose your marriage on television? And she's like, shit, I actually have to jump now. And she's kind of like
Yeah.
doing that thing where you're like, you see someone jump and they like kind of go back a little bit, like they're about to go and then they don't go. And she like wants to do it, but like there's also something holding her back. And I think it all depends like on will she jump off the cliff? Because
Yeah.
these situations are always the same. You either never go on TV or you jump off the cliff. If you try to half-ass it, you're going to hit the cliff as you fall down and smack your face and break your arm along the way because you're trying to both have your cake and eat it too, aka be on TV and not expose what's really going on, which never works out.
Yeah,
So,
and it doesn't help too that at the same time Brian is cutting one of her bungee cords with safety
Bungee
scissors.
cord?
Yeah, it's cliff jumping. The rope,
Stop
whatever
acting
holds
like
you
cliff
up.
you jump into the water.
Oh, see, I'm taking it where she's like bungee jumping and she's harnessed in, right? So she'll
Yeah.
go back up, but at the same time Brian he's cutting
No.
the cords so that she falls and
No.
plummets.
I meant like, you go to like the beach and there's a cliff and all the kids are climbing up and then you're like 12 and you're like, I gotta go do it because I don't want to look like I don't want to be a wimp. All my friends are doing it and all of Rula's friends are like, we're gonna go on TV and we're gonna talk about our marriages. Woo!
They're at the seawall with Jerry and Dina about to jump off that.
I want to go to the seawall.
Yeah, take me to the seawall. My life is here, but it should be at the seawall. Okay, let's hop on over to our next scene.
Girl, this scene pissed me the fuck off. I will talk about this for 80 years, but don't let me. The only reason it pissed me off. Where are they?
We're on like a farm. There's farm animals. Does Ashley have a farm?
Like, are we stupid? Did we forget something? Because I swear, they over-explain everything on this show. We have heard that Alicia's grandfather started Superior Bakery approximately 8 times since the premiere. Like 3 times in this episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, where are they? I don't remember Ashley owning a farm. This is certainly not Rosie's house. We saw Rosie's weird little like hurricane house that's like lifted 80 feet up in the air over
Yeah,
a 3-car garage.
the 1-bedroom 3-car garage.
Yeah. It's not that. But they never say where they are. And usually they'll be like, even in this episode, because I remember seeing it, there's a scene where they're like Joellen's house. There was never a Chiron saying where they were. I went back and rewound like 3 times because I thought I kept missing it. There's nothing. And this drove me mad, Taj. Like, I don't know. I think it's because I'm forced to take notes
Yeah.
to do this podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have anything to write about this. So here we are talking about this instead.
This was a nothing scene. It was just Rosie being like, yeah, I don't want kids. And then Ashley's trying to sell her on having kids. But at the same time, her like toddler is throwing her hoop earring like over the fence and it's just all up in her face. And Ashley's like, no, you got to have kids. They're awesome. And it's like, no, this one's being a menace to you right now. Why would I want that?
It's very much trying to sell someone on like a dog while the dog is biting them.
Yeah, the dog's biting and barking.
They're not going to adopt it.
No. But yeah, at the same time, Rosie's like, no, we tried for kids before we got married, but now it's a no.
They were just fucking, right? Are they just saying that because they're Catholic?
Yeah, I think she made a comment on that. Okay. We hear more incriminating stuff and allegations and rumors about her later, which are more impactful.
Yeah.
But yeah, not much in this scene at all of them at the farm. Or the petting zoo, whatever it is.
Liz and... Yeah, sorry. Next scene. Liz is in the middle of selling her boat, which is called something that I don't think we're supposed to say anymore, so I'm going to skip it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in trouble for saying a bad word. But good thing she's selling it. Because Jerry says he's had his fill of sports fishing. And I don't know if it's just because of like the fact that this is the show and we're on right now. but I was like, it's kind of convenient that he's getting rid of his like sports fishing hobby where he's gone 3 out of 4 weeks of the year when now these affair rumors are coming onto TV.
Yeah, it's like Liz being like, you gotta sell the boat. You gotta sell the problematic named boat right now.
You gotta.
The Dino stuff is coming up. You're done. You're cut off. You already ordered your 12 bananas, your 6 dozen bananas. It's over.
You can't have a banana addiction and a problematic boat. Pick
it's either or. It's either or. It's every man will come to that ultimatum once in his marriage. But yeah, so Kelsey's here, and they kind of hash it out.
Let's talk about the logistics of this though, because so often we just gloss over, as viewers. I mean, when you're watching this kind of stuff, you just kind of learn to accept the bullshit at a certain point. But the fun part is not accepting it completely and dissecting the logic. Because do you know how pissed off I would be if I was in a fight with someone, I knew we needed to make up, and they were like, let's make up. Can you help me clean out my shit from my boat? Fuck no.
That's kind of like the best way to break bread, though, right? Like, I pissed you off. I'll do a chore for you. It's like when your parents get mad at you and you're like, Mom, Dad, I'll clean the dishes tonight.
Yeah.
I'll do the dishes. I'll do the laundry.
Liz being the matriarch of the group, where she's like, Kelsey, you need to apologize to me, so come clean my boat and we can hash it out. It's like, okay, fine. I'll do the manual labor for you, Liz.
Yeah, this episode really boosted up Liz for me because no one wants to go against Liz, which we see later in the episode. But this really, really boosted her up for me, which I get why she's center pearl as of right now. But
yeah, I wonder how long it'll last.
It's a multi-season arc, I think. I don't think this is going to be a resolution or a breakdown in one season. This is a build-up moment here.
I don't think Joellen can take it.
At this point right now, it's Liz. Liz has it.
No, I mean, like, I don't think Joellen can handle Liz being center clam.
Liz
and, like, not try to take her down.
Liz and Joellen against each other is very, very enticing to me.
Joellen it's interesting because I don't know who would win, but I think Liz would win. I think Liz would have all the allies.
I agree. I think Joellen on her own, right? She doesn't have Rula. She doesn't really have Rosie, which entails Ashley. So you really don't have anyone else. Maybe Kelsey
Joellen
would be on her side, but I agree. Liz has everyone else. She's got Dolores, as we know.
Liz is the matriarch. She has everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is when Kelsey's like, yeah, me and Dino hooked up 10 years ago, which is also, what's the timeline here? Because isn't Kelsey like late 20s, early 30s? Is she early 30s?
Kelsey is 31, I think, or turning 31.
So she would have been 21 when she hooked up with Dino. Right?
Wait, repeat that?
So if she's 31 now and she said she hooked up with him 10 years ago, she would have been like 20 or 21 when she hooked up with Dino.
Yeah. She has had like 3 boyfriends at the same time.
I know, but still. We know this about her.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he is, Ma. But he is.
But he is, Ma. But he did, Ma. More like, but he did, Ma. Yeah, but they make up. There's really not much going on. I would say it's kind of just like a makeup. We're good. We both acted up. Let's be friends and clean the poop deck. Swash the poop deck.
I'm curious to see if this holds because I think good housewives shows can like have these fights and then they can move on and then they can have another one and they can move on. Sometimes these shows get a little bit caught in the minutia of it and they'll be like, oh, so we're back to this, and they will never like actually move on even though they say they've moved on. So I'm curious to see how that plays out in the coming episodes.
Well, I think that's going to happen also with Alicia and Rosie.
Yeah.
They put a Band-Aid on the wound, but I still feel like it's an open wound. And if you press down on it, it's still going to hurt. But this just gave me a brilliant idea. These ladies, I need Jo Ellen versus Liz when she's coming for Center Clam. I need them to do Battleship, like true Battleship. Like they're each on a boat in the middle of a lake or something, and they have cannons, and they have to sink each other's problematically named ships.
Ridiculous.
She's like, Gary, load the cannon, and Gary's like, I'm trying, and Gary's holding big cannonballs and loading them up.
Come get these cannonballs.
Oh, Gary found a pair of your underwear.
How they smell?
How do the cannons smell?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like you wanted to make a joke there, but you held
but
yourself back.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. It's all right. Okay. This brings us to Rosie's big event, which is their railroad biking. It's a 6-mile bike ride.
That's nothing.
Okay, but for the Real Housewives of Rhode Island,
It's 3 miles there and 3 miles back.
they did not do the 3 miles back.
You think they left from? You're right. I think
They
you're
did
right.
not go back.
They did not go back.
You telling me
got
they had that?
picked up.
They had
Yeah.
their bonfire with s'mores, and they had to go 3 miles back? No.
No way. You're right.
No. They got picked up in their
But 3
blacked
miles
out Jeeps.
on a bike is not. It can't be that long. 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
I don't think they wanted to do the 20 to 30 minutes. Liz does. We know Liz bikes. We saw it with her man, with Jerry last episode.
True,
but
she's been training for this.
I don't know if Alicia is much of a biker.
Well, Alicia doesn't do. We find out she doesn't do spin classes or Pilates, but she loves Jane's Fonda.
Yeah, she doesn't do wheels. I think we just need to point out that Liz or Alicia does not do wheels
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No wheels for Alicia,
Yeah.
but she loves Jane's Fonda. The fact that she knows, first of all, Jane Fonda, not for like, I mean, she probably knows who Jane Fonda is. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit, but I love that she's like, I love Jane's Fonda. I love her workout YouTube videos. It's like, that's what you know Jane Fonda for?
Yeah,
YouTube workout videos? I didn't even know she did that.
What are to me, the YouTube workout videos are like The Substance, where they're like pump it up with
I
Sue.
think that has to be what it is, right?
Yeah, like 1-piece leg warmers, 5-pound dumbbell, and you're like lifting over your head and dancing at the same time to like Copacabana.
Are these like current? They can't be current.
They cannot be current. I don't think Jane's Fonda is still doing workout classes.
I mean,
Or-
she's 88, so
Okay.
probably not. But
Probably
maybe,
not.
You never know.
Yeah. To me,
Maybe
it sounds,
that's why Alicia feels out of shape, because she's been doing workout programs for octogenarians.
it sounds very like swimmer class coded too.
Lift a feather. Lift a feather.
Okay. Rosie, another Ozempic housewife. Is it Rula and Rosie? Because they say that she has Ozempic, or she takes Ozempic.
Yeah, I mean, every housewife, I think, takes Ozempic at this point.
At this point,
But yes, there is a joke about Ozempic, and Rosie, I guess, is on it with Rula. They can be Ozempic buddies.
I do like the juxtaposition of the car with the older housewives talking about whatever, and then the younger housewives being like, "Yeah, I almost had to get an adult diaper because I kept shitting so much."
That was crazy.
That was so funny.
Well, and that comes up. Didn't I? Where does that come up?
Did it come? I don't remember that coming up later. Is there a sidebar where they're like, "Where's she going? She's probably shitting her pants right now." When they get to the smorgasbord, the charcuterie boards, and the s'mores.
I don't remember. I feel like at one point there was like the colitis like segued into the drama, but I don't remember. Anyways,
Rula, I loved this Rula in this episode because we all get there and they all have like their angry orchards or something, their bottles that Kelsey pops with her teeth. But Rula brings out like a whole cocktail set. She has like a whole shaker and everything. It was
I brought my tequilita.
so funny. I loved this. And then they're on the bike and she's in the back seat and she's like shaking it and pouring cocktails for everyone.
yeah, that was genuinely so funny watching her mix the cocktail while biking and then pouring it for Kelsey, and then Kelsey's like, this is rubbing alcohol, this is disgusting.
Rula is kind of like she's building what the narrative for later, maybe not narrative, but the vibe for later, where she's like, oh, I'm gonna get these women drunk and we are spilling shit later. She's giving heavy pours. She's like, we are not gonna have a boring outing. We're gonna be drunk and have fun and spill.
It's interesting because I heard that Rula was originally supposed to be a friend of, and I don't know if that means, because sometimes that means like during filming she was a friend of.
Oh yeah.
Or if, because like season 1 of Salt Lake City, Mary was a friend of, and she got upgraded to full-time cast member like after the season filmed, and that's why all of her like solo scenes were in her closet. She did them like after the show, kind of. But Rula, I wonder like when in the process she became a full-time housewife is, I guess, what I'm wondering.
Yeah. So then Kelsey, in confessional, tells us that no, Rosie did not go on a medical leave because of her bowel movements.
Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
she got fired because she allegedly had an affair with one of her higher-ups. But isn't that also her
story with
relationship? Yeah, with Rich. He was like a producer and she was an intern.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. And then also, isn't there a rumor that she had an affair with like a basketball coach or some coach or something?
Oh, yeah. That was like
So
very...
How many affairs has Rosie been a part of?
Well, how many affairs has all these women been
All
a
of
part of?
them,
All
yeah.
of them.
I need a scorecard, I feel like.
Yeah, and yeah, me too. We need a bingo
Yeah.
ticket with everything. But no, I mean, I did see that Rosie like Instagram story posted and was like, black screen, white text. I've never had an affair, that sort of thing. You know, it's classic, right? Will this come up again? I don't know, because it seems like it
definitely will come up again.
It should, because it's Kelsey telling us that. It would. I think it would have come up more if she told someone else that.
At minimum, we'll see it at the reunion.
Yeah, for sure.
Rosie and Liz are sitting next to each other on the bikes. And this is when Rosie decides to implement her plan. And this is phase 1. She is trying to get Liz, like, comfortable with the fact that Rosie was talking about her. So Rosie's, like, very upfront. And she says, Liz, you can be a little scary. And she also asks her, what did you think of Ashley?
Just straight shooting.
Yeah, Rosie is just stirring the pot. And Liz gives Rosie exactly what she wants. Because Liz says, my first impression wasn't that great. She didn't even, like, look at me, honestly. So I didn't get a good vibe. When they get off these bikes, Rosie takes about 10 seconds before she pulls Ashley to the side, does the most obvious water well talk from Survivor I've ever seen.
Yes. I literally, I made a note about this, and I watched this, and I was like, Rosie is playing Survivor. Like, this is before Tribal Council. They're going to have to vote someone off. She goes to Liz, who has the numbers, and she's like, what do you think of Ashley? And then instantly pulls her aside later, and is like, the vote is for you tonight. Like,
yeah. And tells
so
her.
Funny.
Literally. Because I think something we need to, like, codify into our discussions about the show is, like, the concept of the hot seat. because I think that the whole Housewives game revolves around someone has to be in the hot seat, and you obviously don't want it to be you. And I think the fight later this episode, the subtext of the fight is that Alicia doesn't like that Rosie is trying to put her in the hot seat.
Yeah, it's a rotating game of hot potato of the first 4 episodes, because they're like, Joellen is a swinger, and then Liz had an affair, and they're all throwing it to each other where they're like, I don't want the smoke. I don't want the smoke. It's on you. It's on you. And I agree. She's completely trying to take Liz down, but we'll see later. It does not work well.
I mean, yeah, the order of operations is basically she heard Alicia say, Liz is scary. She's like, okay, I'm going to go tell Liz myself that I think she's a little scary, but in like a fun way, in like a we're friends way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go tell Ashley so that Ashley will bring it up in front of the group so that I can then throw Alicia under the bus by being like, oh, but you said it too, Alicia, right? It's all so calculated.
It is. It completely is. Because I think Rosie played it off well when she's on the bike with Liz. Because even Liz is like, oh, maybe, am I scary? Maybe I could be. She's like, when people see me in the hall, they jump.
Yeah.
So
that
maybe
clip
she played
is
it off.
really funny where she's like, maybe I am scary.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because they get to the little hideaway area, and then she instantly just pulls Ashley away, and all the other housewives just sniff it out. They're like, what are they doing over there?
Yeah, it's very obvious, and Alicia kind of sees through what Rosie's doing. Alicia ends up bringing up her situation with Billy again, because that's been like another undercurrent of this episode is Alicia and her financial situation with Billy, and they're role playing, and this is when we get the I can't have sex with you, Billy. I'd rather be in bed watching Love Island.
Which Love Island do you think? Do you think this would have been around season 5 or season 7 of Love Island? Would this have been last season of Love Island?
They're talking about Huda.
She goes, Billy, I'm sorry I can't have sex with you tonight. Jeremiah just dumped Huda. Jeremiah
Billy.
just dumped Huda.
Billy, I'm sorry, I cannot give you sloppy toppy. Nick and Alondria both met up in the Jeeps.
She's like, oh, Charlie went home. I guess we can have sex. I don't care about that.
Billy, I'm sorry, not right now. Hannah is crying on her pillow. Over a photo of Charlie. I mean, it's pathetic, really.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so good.
I did think, like, because Love Island is now like neighbors with like the Bravo universe, like Andy hosts the reunions and Ariana's
it's all
the host.
Peacock. Yeah,
It's all Peacock. Like, they could mention the show.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the only reason they could do that.
No, exactly, right? It's the shared universe of Peacock right here.
Yeah. It's like promo in Rhode Island for
Yeah, little pop-up comes up at the
Love
bottom.
Island.
It's Ariana
I'm
Maddox.
shocked that they didn't do that, actually.
That would have been really good.
Watch Love Island now.
Yeah. I came here for love. Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
yeah, so Rosie tries to go after Liz, but more as well through Alicia, and just says, "Hey, let's just keep it real. You said she was scary," and Alicia instantly is like, "Don't do this. Don't do this, Rosie."
Alicia is playing a game of verbal roulette where she has like 30 words on a wheel and she's just spinning it each time to determine what she's going to say next, because she just goes like, "You're a fucking troll, you know that, you troll. You're trolling around, you're fucking me. You're trying to fuck me and I don't like that, you fucking troll, okay? You flip-flopper. You flipped, you troll, and I don't like that, okay?"
Yeah, it's like one of those video games where it's like it happens and then you have 2 dialogue boxes and you have to pick really fast which one you want to say.
Yeah.
She picks the wrong one and she's like,
I love a cracker.
"No, that's not what I meant. You're a troll."
Yeah, she's just going off. She's like, "You're a troll. You're a flip-flopper. These are my friends. They're rainbow high dolls. You're a troll.
I like my
ran over a
brats.
woman once."
I like my brats, but you are a brat. We got Barbie mention earlier in the episode too. Ashley's like, they all look like Malibu Barbie, which is the wrong doll. Wrong doll. Yeah, but Alicia instantly, this was kind of her big dogging Rosie, and I don't think Rosie does not have the social capital to go after these women yet.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, she does not have the social capital to go after them yet, whereas Alicia does. Alicia has all the backing she wants.
Well, I also think that Liz almost doesn't even care what Alicia says. She cares more about how Alicia responds in this moment, which is like as soon as Alicia, because let's not get it twisted. Rosie did not lie. Like she just says what Alicia said, and Alicia gets caught saying shit about Liz, and she's like, "Oh crap! Like I don't want Liz to come after me." So she immediately like throws Rosie under the bus to try and stay in the good graces of Liz.
Yes, completely.
It's like Boston Rob finding out that like you find out that your buddy told Boston Rob that you were looking for an idol, so then you have to throw your buddy completely under the bus to get back in Boston Rob's good graces.
Is there a non-zero chance that like Boston Rob could be a part of this in any way? Like New England?
Yeah, definitely non-zero. Boston Rob probably has been on Jerry's problematically named fishing boat.
I need like Boston Rob to go and watch What Happens Live, and he has to like decode all the New England, Rhode Island slang, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know pizza crackers. I love pizza crackers."
I do love the idea of Boston Rob having to be interviewed by Andy Cohen, and Andy's like, "Okay, Rob, we're gonna play a game," and it's like, "Which Boston boy do you think this penis belongs to?"
I don't know if it would be that. It would, but it could be.
I mean, you don't watch that much Watch What Happens Live, clearly.
I just catch the clips. Yeah, I just catch the big clips on Twitter. But that's when Alicia says the line.
I need to defend myself. I only watch What Happens Live if it's a really good guest.
Okay, all right, that's fair. It's like late night. I'm only watching if it's Timothée Chalamet. Okay, that's when we get the big line from Alicia.
Now welcome to Rhode Island, bitch.
Straight to Rosie.
Welcome to Rhode Island, bitch. This is how we do things here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she
this
gets
is like
up.
the tagline for the show.
Yeah, completely. It's that, and then everyone's in each other's business. Those are the two.
Yeah, and they play it all the time in the promo for the show. Welcome to Rhode Island, bitch.
Yeah, it's good. That's what you need for like the new season, where it's like, what's Rhode Island about? Well, welcome to Rhode Island, bitch. Yeah. So then Alicia like gets up, but then she comes back, and Rosie's like, "Wait, can we just talk over here? Can we talk over here for a second? Not in front of everyone. Can we just talk over here?" Another Survivor poll. Can I pull you for a chat? Maybe it's Love Island. Maybe Alicia heard "Can I pull you for a chat real quick?" And she's like, "Oh, I watched that show."
It's also very funny comparing Real Houses of Rhode Island to The Ladies of London, which is having a similar storyline of like someone coming to this place from a different place. And in Ladies of London, they're like, "Perhaps you are better suited to Los Angeles." And on this one, they're like, "Welcome to Rhode Island, bitch."
What do you know about pizza crackers? What do you know about it? Chips. What do you know about pizza chips?
Pizza cracker is a better term.
Sorry.
Pizza chips are like just red sauce. It's not.
What do you know about pizza chip? But then they squash it really easily. Alicia's like, "I'll drop it if you say you're sorry. I'll drop it."
Well,
she's like,
yes. Before that happens, though, Liz talks to her. And this is the moment I was talking about earlier, where Liz says, "I had the exact same reaction and regretted it the next day." And this language to me is like the coded language of like, I was in the hot seat at my party and I reacted on camera and then I regretted it. And that's what you're going to feel tomorrow, because right now you're in the hot seat and you're reacting. You're going to regret doing that on camera. That, to me, that's like what this conversation gave. And Alicia's like, I won't regret it, which I think is so funny.
Well, she didn't have her peppermint oil to calm her down.
Yeah, she needs some peppermint oil.
Which,
but yes, they do apologize and make up very quickly.
Yeah, what we're kind of talking about earlier, though, it doesn't feel like it's done. It feels like we're gonna go back to this at some point where it's gonna be an easy moment for Rosie to do some sort of mess up again, and then Alicia throws it back where it's like, well, remember what you said about me to Liz?
I mean, I think it's key in this scene that Liz says, that's why we call Cece the flip-flopper, because she's gonna flip-flop. I mean, sure, she's now on your side right now, Rosie, but based on how easy it was to A, set her off, and B, get her back on your side, it's going to be C, just as easy to set her off again. So, I think it's going to take more work from Rosie to build a stronger relationship.
So Alicia is also playing Survivor. She is she's in the middle and she keeps flipping.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. What did she say? Go, I'm a sensitive gangsta sometimes.
She says, I'm a sensitive gangster sometimes. Maybe if I had my peppermint oil, I would have been calmer.
I respect that. I need my peppermint oil sometimes, too.
I didn't know peppermint oil calmed you down.
It does. It smells nice. Whenever I'm, like, sick, I'll put some peppermint oil on. It's very nice. This was the most I ever related with Alicia. I'm like, I don't really know about the Italian and the pizza and everything, the pizza crackers, but hey, peppermint oil, the dolls, I don't really know about that, but the peppermint oil, yeah.
What about driving over women?
No, I just drive over men. I just drive over guys. Not so I don't know about that one. Yeah, so it basically all beef has been squashed, but likely will come up again later. But how different would this be if Joellen was here? Would this have been another Joellen Rula thing? I feel like Joellen not here, it advances the story. It advances the narrative between the other housewives, because it's like, well, we're not going to talk about Rula's affair without Joellen there, so we have to do something else, which is the Liz being a very scary personality or whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to say because we don't really know where Joellen would have fit in the earlier scenes. Because if she's there when Alicia says this, maybe Joellen brings this up before Rosie can even meddle, or it's like hard to play out what may have happened with her here.
Yeah. Do we want to go into our Pearl power rankings for the week?
Yes. You want to start at the bottom or the top?
We always got to start at the bottom. We got to work our way to the top. I think we've had Rula at the bottom. I
would move Rula up.
I was going to say that. I would move Rula up, and I feel like this is a big shift happening, because at this point, I would still put Ashley at the bottom. I would put Ashley at the bottom.
Ashley's the bottom, yeah.
I think Ashley's the bottom. She's still the outsider. She's still trying to gain some social capital with these women. And
we see
Rosie
this
being the only
episode,
person doesn't help.
Like, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with how this works, you have to kiss the ring of Liz. And she did not.
Nope. So Ashley at the bottom. I would put Rosie at the second to last. I would put Rosie up.
I think I think that their stupid water well talk was so dumb and obvious. And then Ashley just looks like a puppet, so she's below Rosie. But I think Rosie is just, like, floundering right now.
Yeah. Rosie took a shot and blew up in her face. Then I would put Rula. at the
Yes.
was at the fifth spot of the power rankings.
I agree.
Okay, from there I would go number 4 is Kelsey, which I think
Kelsey.
Kelsey has been
Yep.
pretty stagnant at that number 4.
She made up with Liz though this week, so she's holding strong.
Yep. She's got some ammo against Rosie. So
I would put Alicia at 3.
I would put Alicia at 3 too, and I think the top 2 we're going to agree on. So I think let's just go with number 1. I think number 1's Liz now.
I agree. I think Liz is the matriarch, and she's like Joellen is Queen Bee energy, but she doesn't have the capital that Liz does.
Yeah. Especially this episode showed people literally afraid of Liz and afraid to go against her. And I would put, Joan at number 2. Which, to be fair, also, she had a quarter of an episode. But still, I think that's where we're sitting nicely at. So maybe Liz is really rocking and deserving of this center pearl, which I think she has on the show.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely a force to be reckoned with and one of my favorites on the show.
Yeah, and hearing the taglines for the second week now made me... I know I put this at the bottom last time, but I'm still putting Ashley's tagline still way at the bottom. My life is like a rom-com. Sometimes I'm laughing, sometimes I'm crying. That's still at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not good. It's generic. It's a little pathetic. Invokes Hallmark movies. Nothing that I like. So
Well, she is from The Bachelor, so
I know.
But this was a good episode. I'm really excited to see where we go from here, especially with a full assembled cast. I think we need everyone here. They are really strong on their own, but we need another Studio 54 party with some new drama.
Oh, we're about to get it. Because next week looks crazy. I'll save it for next week, but it looks crazy.
Oh, well, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Look at this. We drove the bus of Housewives. We didn't run over anyone for this week. Any lasting thoughts? This was a great episode, though.
No, I don't think so. I'm excited to come back for the next one.
Yeah. And if you like the podcast, please let us know. Give us a review, a rate. Let us know and text us. We famously put our phone numbers in the podcast decoded, and you have to do the work to decode it yourself. But let us know. Give us a heads up, and we'll be back next week with another episode 5 of The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. We'll be there on our dinghies.
Bye.
Bye.